Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm waiting notification. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. This special Mother's Day afternoon, we have a special Mother's Day lineup today, starting with our sister out of New York City, Sister Jacquelyn Muhammad. First of all, assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Alaikum salam, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. The honor is mine. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you again. Well, before we get started in your journey of being a mother of 7 children, and let's go to how you first heard the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's a very good question. I heard the teaching, I'm going to say way back when my dad, that was even before I decided to come into the nation. He would listen to Malcolm X. He always had Message to the Black Man in the house. Even though, he wasn't registered or anything, he had a love for Malcolm X. So being born in 1964, telling my story.
Yes, ma'am.
He was playing tape, the albums. I don't know, a lot of children don't know about albums, but
yes,
he would play the albums over and over of like all of Malcolm X's messages. So I think I was born from my mom listening to, all of Nation of Islam beginnings. So I'm going to say that's where it started, because I always loved Malcolm X. So I would even listen to him prior to coming into the nation. But now when I was, when Minister Farrakhan would speak, the first time was in, I think, 1995, when he was in Jacob Javits. I think myself and my cousins went to listen, my husband, we went there and we stood up, but they left me. They kind of jerked me. And so I came in about 1995, 93, around there. 1993, 95, something like that. I can't really recall, but it was a while ago.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
That is when I decided to come in, and it was at Mosque in Harlem, Mosque number 7. That's where I'm from. And that's when I heard the teachings. And I would say I stood up and took my children, the ones that I had young, to the mosque with me.
Oh, praise to Allah. Beautiful. Yes, ma'am. And people are showing you love all across the country. Thank you all for watching. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Please let us know what city you're watching from. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, how did your family and friends feel about you accepting the teachings?
Well, my mom, praise be to Allah, she's still alive. She loves God. So she really didn't, they thought, first of all, myself and my family was strange, okay? Because we, covered everything, we weren't into the hot shorts, hot pants. But after she saw, I guess, my change in the way I was, I think they accepted it a lot better, because before I came into the nation, I wasn't ghetto, but, I was a little more of a tomboy. I played basketball, I played sports, I did, I was a little rougher than I am, I could say, today, after, learning and growing in Islam. So I think they took to it a lot better. After, when they realized, because my family never ate pork. We really weren't, dressed wild, because of my dad. Like I told you, he always had the background of the Nation of Islam in his soul. He would go to the lectures out in Harlem and everything. So I think that, it was in us, but only a few of us, not a few of us, only myself came into the nation, where as they wanted to, but they were more of afraid, they rather do what mom does. And so I think I was the bold one that just said, I'm going into the nation. That's it. I know that's where my dad would have been. Rest his soul. He's not with us.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll be pleased. All praises to Allah. Okay, great. Yes, ma'am. Now, once you came into the mosque in New York City, like, what was the climate like? Like, who trained you? What was that like when you came in?
Oh man, when I came in, I had a beautiful sister Olivia. and Sister Barbara, who were my orientation teachers, and they were strict but sweet. So, you had the combination of those two personalities, even though it was dark in the where we learned. It was where I'm trying to recall where we were. We were in Fifth Avenue, and downstairs is where the orientation class was. And it was really dark. And if you went out watching, you would be afraid. So they were really strict and together. But those were two of the ones that I remember the most. So Sister Olivia and Sister Barbara, they taught me. But the captain was Sister Karima at that time, I believe. And Sister Amina was there also. Sister Amina, not Amina Hawk, I know her, but Sister Amina, she passed away.
Russell.
I'll be pleased with her, but she was the other, emeritus.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
In New York. And now Sister Jana. And let me say, thanks, Sister Jana, for being a great captain now. Let me shout her out.
Yes, ma'am.
She's wonderful, yes.
All praise to Allah. Okay, great. My next question for you is martial arts. How did you get into that?
Well, after having all my children, at first I was trying to lose weight, to be totally honest.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had the 7 children, and the sisters were saying, brother Professor Chris, well, he wasn't professor at the time, he was Sheehan. Sheehan Christopher is going to start a class. Would you like, they didn't want to ask me. If they passed me, I was walking by, they totally didn't even want to ask me. Right? I was like, hey, what's going on? The sister that I am, nosy. I say, what's going on? They were like, Brother Chris is trying to start a class. And I was like, I'm down, why you didn't ask me? So for now, I would say 20, well, my youngest son is 21. For 21 years, I have been training in martial arts. Just this last couple of years, I stopped because of COVID and all of that. But so I have a black belt in Kung Fu and a brown in Sanukis. So I'm pretty busy. I do stay pretty busy, I would say. I mean, just older.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Okay, great. And what advice would you give to specifically sisters about my sister Miriam sends a greeting, says all praises to Allah. About you getting into martial arts, like women doing martial arts. What advice would you give to women who want to do martial arts?
I would say it's really worth it. I would say try it. It takes out a lot of your aggression. So, I think as a mother, you do have aggression because you have to kind of do everything. You feel like you hate cooking. You feel like you hate, cleaning or whatever. This is you're out to be legit, to fight on the mat, or train, work out hard. If you take a martial arts class, I would suggest any sister to at least try it. It's not for everybody, but it's good. And we have a survival seminar coming up. I know a lot of sisters have been to those in the past, and it's worth it. I always love going to the survival seminars, always. I mean, I only missed maybe 3 in my time of training.
All praises to Allah. Beautiful. My sister Naima sends greetings as well. Thank everyone who's watching. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Okay, great. My next question for you is, being it is Mother's Day, let's deal with you having 7 children, like going to death's door 7 times. What advice would you give to women about having multiple children?
Oh, good question, Brother Joshua. Don't do it. No, I wouldn't. Don't do it. No, I wouldn't tell them that. What I would say is you have to have a great husband. Okay. My husband's very great. I'm going to give him the props. Brother Vernon out of New York. He has been very helpful, FOI. And not everyone can do the things I think that he has done. So I would say first have a good husband that doesn't mind having children. If him and you don't agree on how many, then there's a problem. But if he doesn't mind, then you have, the multiple 7s. Because when you get to more than 3, you start feeling like Carrie. You start feeling like a little crazy because you have all these different personalities that you deal with, and you try to put your best in each of them. So I would say if you have a lot of children, you're trying to put your best into them. You just don't say, oh, I'm having children just to have them. You have to tell yourself, I want to give this person this or that. You can almost feel them inside of you. So to me, that's why I say many children, I would say have as many children as you want, but know that you have to take care of them. You're putting your love into them. And that's what I would tell the future sisters who are even thinking about many children. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna have children and not take care of them and think that um, they're not personality separate. Each has their own personalities, and you have to be in it.
All praises to Allah. Speaking of those personalities, what is the difference in raising male children versus female children that you've noticed?
That's a very good question, brother. I would say younger, you don't know. So you try to say you want the boys to be boys and the girls to be boys. So you want them tough. And now being an older mother, looking back and seeing my sons, I would say you have to give the boys, listen up, sisters, you have to give the boys much more attention, care, and like nurturing. And girls, some may need it and you can feel them out, but girls, they usually cling to the mother and you can already give them what they need because you're a woman. But the boys, you think they're tough and really they need a lot more love because the world is so tough. I hope you understand.
Yes, ma'am.
What I mean, because they are they have to go out in the world and feel tough outside. At home, you don't have to do that. At home, they should have the same kind of, you're gonna be okay. I love you. Take that time with them. It's totally needed, I think. I mean, I'm not a professional, but but I could see the difference in the different children as my growth as I grew. Because you can only do, there's no handbook for this. There's no, somebody says, oh, here, this is the way you raise children. Nobody gives you that. So, I'm just praying that women, sisters, take the time with their sons because they need it.
Beautiful. All praises. So, yes, ma'am. And I would say that with 7 children and you said 10 grandchildren.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I think that you may be a subject matter expert for sure on this, and that we should absolutely take your advice. Wow. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, how has being a grandmother impacted you?
Oh, well, I'm gonna say I love being a grandmother, but like I said, ask the other grandmothers first. I usually tell all my children, if they have mothers, ask them first, because I raised my children so much that I really didn't have my own self, and I think now I'm trying to catch up. But I totally help them if they need me. Like I told you, last resort, call me. Because you have to have you can't, especially if you have a husband, you still have to balance everything. You can't just drop everything and say, I'm going to raise your children now. So I tell them, ask their other mothers first, then you can come to me. But I think I raised my children as a grandmother. So I really put a lot into them, love, time, whatever I thought they needed. If it was like, you like basketball, we'll try basketball. If you like violin, science, I put all of that into my own children. So they gotta figure it out, That was just my take on it.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. Okay, great. We have a few more questions for you. My next question for you is the basketball. You said you like to play basketball. I love basketball. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I used to.
Yes, ma'am. So what position did you play?
Point guard.
Okay, me too. Me too. Okay, same thing. Do you still watch basketball now? You inspired by basketball now, or you don't watch it no more?
Well, let me tell you this. I love basketball, and I have my son. They all can play. They're amazing. I'm a defense coach. You know what I mean? I play ball, and I like to see it played well. I don't like when the refs cheat. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, I took all of my children know how to play tennis, basketball. You know, like they're well rounded. So with that said, I taught these boys how to play. Send them to college now. They don't want to play. Everybody's so educated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be so intelligent. And I said, listen, you live once, play. You know what I mean? Then I can come and scream on the side like I do. No, that doesn't happen in our world. Sorry. So yeah, so I love that they all coach, they all play, but they didn't play in college. So I lost like a chunk. So I stopped playing. I stopped watching for a while because I was so disheartened. And I was like, you guys, why are you watching? You're not even playing. You know what I mean? You don't even want to play. They didn't have the pros when I was there, so I would have been on it. You know, I tell them that all the time. But you know, that's just my dream. That's just my dreams. It's not necessarily so.
Yes, man. Listen, we all have dreams. I mean, I think that I would have been a point guard for the Chicago Bulls.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I probably
that's right.
Now, exactly. Now, being in New York, were you a Knicks fan, or like who did you watch loving big basketball?
Well, Mark Jackson used to be in my neighborhood. Okay, now he taught those Warriors how to do some defense. So that was my team until they took my man away.
Yes, ma'am.
And then they want to prop up, you know, Steve
Kerr. Yes, ma'am.
Nah, we're not having it. You ain't really the one that taught this. That team was nobody. That team was nothing until he taught them. He had them looking nice and sharp. That was a team. That was a team. So I liked the Warriors when the defense was like real defense, and nobody could stop them. And then, you know, they took it away, and that kind of broke me up a little bit. But before that, you know who I liked? The Boston Celtics, because I like Garnett. Hardcore.
Me too. Okay, me too. I like KG. I like KG.
My dude. That's my dude right there.
Yeah, I like KG. I like KG.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, great. Matter of fact, he was one of my favorite players.
Mine too.
Yeah, for a long time.
That was a good three right there.
Yes, ma'am.
I like those guys. So that was my team for a while.
Okay, great. Now we have a few more questions for you, Sis Jacquelyn, but we have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. Sister Jamila Afia says, great advice. Please let your boys have a safe space. And she's agreeing with you. Praise be to Allah. And thank everyone who's shown love all across the country. And my sister Naima says the 2008 Celtics with the fire. She loves the Celtics as well. But Naima, she said big three. She didn't add Rondo. So Naima loves Rondo. You know what I'm saying?
He was good.
We talk about KG Ray out of the park here. She's trying to add Rondo.
That's right. The shooter.
Exactly. All right, hold on 1 second. Okay, and thank all of the sponsors on this amazing Mother's Day. Thank all of the mothers out there who are taking time to watch this and to enlighten us on their journey. And, you know, we just saluting all of the mothers today. It's going to be all sisters on People's Podcast. If you all like to be a sponsor or donor, please cash app the People's Podcast. My brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of those services. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. And her new Spanish book is available on Amazon as well. Please get that. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and right here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. Rod Communications. If you're working on books and you need copy editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Rod Communications. Also, our brother, Urban Fashion Guys, Urban Streetwear, 314-329-6009. He'll keep you dressed in the best of fashion and dripping in the best of clothes. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad out of Austin, Texas, conflict mediation, squashing the beef throughout the Southwest region. He does a phenomenal job. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, giving birth to a guide in the science of child rearing. Please get her book. We're coming right back to our Sister Jacquelyn Muhammad. Brother Kenneth from New York, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country. Brother Rashad Muhammad, Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, for the Rashad Muhammad COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services out of Chicago. My father's book, Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is the children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Right back to our amazing Sister Jacquelyn. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, I have a quick, Sister April Muhammad says ASA, Walaikum Salam, ma'am. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, speaking of writing books, I keep hearing this phrase from all of the parents. There's no handbook on how to do this. There's no handbook. Seeing as how you reared 7 children, 10 grandchildren, would you ever write a book to enlighten the next generations?
I never thought of it. I was hoping maybe one of my children do, but
Okay.
you know, I never really thought of writing a book. So maybe, who knows? You ask the question, you know, you throw it out there. God willing, maybe.
Okay, praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, I've had the honor of interviewing 2 of your children and their husbands and or wives. My question for you is, when I have the couples together, I always say, how did you feel nervous about meeting the other parents and the in-laws? And they were like, I was nervous, or I wasn't. It was kind of cool. We knew each other. As a mother, are you nervous for meeting the people who try to marry your children? Does that make you nervous?
No, they actually should be nervous of us, but what happens is, I usually am kind of very honest, and I always try to meet the parents of whoever's going to marry. So I have 7 children, and 4 of them are married already. I have 3 that are left. 3, no, maybe 2 left that aren't married. So 4 are. But we usually try to have a date with their parent, you know, the mother, or first of all, the person who wants to marry our child. We go out with them, and you should hear, I ask questions you don't even want to know, okay? I'll be like, look, this is my favorite daughter, you know? So I mean, I kind of really give them the like 3rd degree and
Yes,
stuff,
ma'am.
but you know, I always have to put it in Allah's hands and know that the person that I raised knows what is best for them. You know, even though I keep saying, I should have picked your husband, I should have picked your wife, you know, whatever goes on, you know, I try to tell them I know the best because I want the best for you. So really, I could see how arranged marriages can work because the mother and father has the best for their child. You know, in their mind, they think that, you know, they're going to scrutinize the person. They're going to find out like the parent's background. They're going to say, oh, that person got a crazy mother. That person got a crazy father. You know, you don't want to be in that because the child comes from that seed. But as you go along and you realize, you know, you're not in control of that, then you have to let it go. But I do tell them, you should have let me pick if you're having problems, you should have let me pick that person. You know what I mean? Like, girl, you should have let me pick him, you know? I do tell them that. I definitely do. You know, no qualms about that. I try to, you know, have them safe because I really love my children. I really put a lot into them young. You know, I wanted them to stay coming to the mosque with me. I tell them all the time, you know, a lot of them don't come and a few do, but they'll come back, you know, because they have it in their soul. They still fast, they still, you know, don't really drink, you know, they're married, they're doing what they have to do, but they just don't come to the mosque with me. And I know it's a generational thing, you know. And then when they find their way back, then they'll say, oh, okay, this is what mom was talking about. It's not who's at the mosque. It's not who's there. It's how, you know, what you're getting out of it, what you're getting from the teachings, how you can help. So, you know, you can't be so selfish and to say, it's just me. So when they find their way, you know, that's just a whole nother mother thing, you know, that we go through, that we go through.
Praise be to Allah. Well, I want to go back to that thing that you said about arranged marriages. My father and my mother, they're very strong, specifically. I'm like, so my mom said 4 children. I'm the only one who's not married. Everybody, you know, the parents boom boom, so they just think whatever. But my dad, but what do you do if your parents, you know, my mother, you know, whatever? I just don't think that my parents, they mean well for me, but they might not care too much in the looks department, or they just be like, oh, it doesn't matter, she's a good sister, and they don't know really. How do you explain that to your children? You're trying to hook them up, but you know what I mean?
Well, remember, your parents know what you like. So let's say they meet a sister. Maybe she doesn't look 100% the way what your type is as far as looks, but she knows that you like to eat. She knows that you like, maybe sports, and she knows the sister has all of these other qualities that down the road, you know what I mean? Because you don't just instantly fall in love. I'm going to tell you that I'm married 35 years, forever. You don't automatically fall in love. You know what I mean? That comes with time. That kind of understanding of what that person may need comes down the road. It's not instant. So yeah, you say, Mom, she don't look the way I was thinking, or she does, But she knows that this person has her head on straight. She knows that she's gonna guide you the way kind of that she would. That's the difference. That's what a mother who can see way farther than what you could see. I humbly think.
Yes, ma'am.
You're looking at the shell, but you're not looking at everything that the mother knows her son loves and likes, and will grow into. So that could be your best friend, and then by next year you'll say, yeah, Mom, that was definitely the one, because this fly girl is like, definitely not the one.
Yes, ma'am. Now,
some of them are just fake, some are just really fake, and you're looking at all of the fakeness and thinking, hey, when I take you home, you'll feed me. No. That bean soup is definitely not going to be tasting good. Okay. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's Sis Jacquelyn. How long should it take for somebody to know if they're in love or not? Like you said, it might not happen like right away or whatever, but like how long?
Doesn't happen right away.
Like you give it a year, 2 years. I mean, how long? What we talking?
Well, see, the thing is, when you're in the nation, I think, and you just want an instant love match, I don't think those really work or last a long time. To me, that's more like just lust. That's just like I just want to, get mine and be out.
Yes, ma'am.
But when you work it in and you say, oh, I like this, you're growing, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I like this, you grow into it, and you say, yeah, we learn each other. We start to understand that the relationship is way more than just you look good, I look good, those kinds of things. So I can't put my finger exactly on it, but you grow to know that person.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that when he looks at you and he says, he kicks you under the table and you're like, okay, I know what you're talking about. That's what I mean? That's your friend. That's your friend.
Yes, ma'am.
No, Jim, did you see that? Did you see that couple over there? You do those kind of things. You know each other, So I think I think that comes with time. That's not an instant thing. And that's why marriages last, because you're getting to know each other on that level. You're getting to say, oh, Brother Joshua, what's your favorite album? And I'm telling you mine. And I'm,
yes,
you know what I mean? If you jump right into it and know, then what are you going to grow to learn? What are you going to learn later? You don't like washing dishes. I like washing dishes. I don't like to cook. All of those things come with time. If you look at the person and she tells you, oh, I don't like that, she really doesn't like that. She's not going to change later. You're not going to be able to make her change. But if it's your friend, then, a friend, you and your friend can make it work better than you and some strange person, I think, because you have that respect, that, that understanding. If you understand what I mean.
Absolutely, I do. Praise be to Allah. And my sister Mimi says, teach this, get me together. She thinks you're teaching to me. And Naima says, teach. They all saying teach. Because I'm the only one. Mimi said facts, because I'm the only one who's not married. So it's always
pressure. No, but take your time, brother. Take your time.
Now listen, life is good. I'm definitely gonna take my time.
yeah, because there's some doozies out there.
Absolutely. Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Speaking of favorite albums, what is your favorite album, Sis Jacquelyn?
Oh man, let me see. I have a couple. I do have a
Okay,
couple.
let's get into it.
Okay. I I like, well, Stevie Wonder's one, and that's Soul
Okay.
to the Key in Life. That's, I
Yes,
think that's
ma'am.
everybody's. That's like a boom, magnet on the fridge.
Yes, ma'am.
And recently I started to like, not recently, but NDIRE Worthy.
Mm,
But
mm.
I always liked Eric B. and Rakim. That's Paid in Full.
Okay, you got
Those
like
are the ones,
faithful.
those are the ones that kind of don't tell anybody until you're in the car, you know, with your headpiece off, plaster. But yeah, Eric B. and Rakim and that Paid in Full. So those three are like top. But I have others. But yeah, I like a lot of different music, which is a great thing.
That's phenomenal. My sister Miriam says she loves NDRE. Excellent. And my sister Naima says she loves the God. Rakim, peace to the God. And Eric B.
Eric B. Rakim.
Being paid for. Boom. Okay, now Sister Jacquelyn,
So,
in your life, have you ever faced fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
that's a good question. Let me see. I always tell my children that, I fear nothing but Allah. I do. I mean, and that's only from the teachings. Before that, I could have been afraid of my dad, whenever I would come home late, those kind of things, long time ago.
Yes, ma'am.
But now I try not to even bring fear in because it can be so, retarding you. It can make you not do a lot of things. So right now, I can't say I've ever come across feeling fear like that, feeling that kind of fear. I walk, ready with my keys in my hands, ready. Um, I try to teach my children not to be afraid because I think when your mind says you're afraid, everything will just, make you stand still. It doesn't, give you a chance to grow. So right now, I can't really think of any fearful time that I've had like that. Yeah, sad, yes, but not fearful. But yeah.
Great. Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Now, Sister Jacquelyn, what about your trial? What has been the greatest trial in your life and how have you overcome that trial?
Greatest trial. Let's see. Oh, I guess raising the 7 children have been a trial in a way. And you can only say you just do it. But the only other trial that I have gone was I had a brother who was murdered. Well, he was young. He was 24. He was in Buffalo school, and some white guy murdered my brother. And that was a trial because myself and my sister had to drive out there, help clean it all up, clean up his house, and so that was a trial. But like I said, because of the teachings, if if I wasn't in the nation, I probably would have handled it a lot worse. But that was a trial nonetheless. So the teachings do help you in a way, but it was hard and also. But that was major, yes. His name was Abdul Malik, just to get it out there. But yeah, he
Yes,
was
ma'am.
young and he was in the school there. Yeah, that was the only son my father got to name. So all of us have names like Julia, Jackie, Joanne, Amy, Tony. So all of us were named from my mom, who loves God, but she's Catholic.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
my father named him Abdul Malik. And, the guy thought he was somebody else and murdered him. And it was terrible. That was a big trial for our whole family. But yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Allah has gotten us through that.
So I'm glad that you I'm sending positive energy to you, and may Allah continue to heal you and bless you. Yes, ma'am. Now, what has been your greatest joy in life, Sister Jacquelyn?
My greatest joy is, I guess, seeing the growth of my children, being alive, because, like I said, I raised them like I thought I was a grandmother. So each time I had any of them, I was just counting their fingers and toes and saying, God, thank you. I was so blessed that they were, healthy and fine. And I think those are my joy. I'm not one for wearing, name brands, or I would wear my children like if it was like a necklace. You know what I mean? Oh, that's my daughter Camille, and that's Medina, that's Elijah, and I would introduce them like that. So I really have a lot of joy for them. And they know it, even though I tease them and say, get out of my room, lock my door. I'm that mother, but but I still wear them. You know, my youngest is Kamal, and then Jabril. I have Sajida, you never met, Malika, and you know Medina Elijah, and my
Yes.
oldest is Camille.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Great. And people are showing you love all across the country. And I can't wait to put this on YouTube so our YouTube family can show you love as well. Now, next, this is Jacquelyn. I don't go to New York a lot. I haven't visited since I was younger. But
Okay.
recently, doing all these interviews, I really want to go and go to Broadway and da 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 da.
Yeah.
When we can you run with me when we go to the record? Can you be the point guard? I'll be the shooting guard, and we just go ahead and win. And we go to the record park. Can we make that happen?
Yes, we could. Really passing. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I still kind of coach. You know, I only stopped during like the COVID time. I wasn't out there, but Elijah started like a team. And he's like, Mom, I got an 8th grade. I got some girls that do you want to coach them? And I'm like, Elijah, you know, you can't just throw that on me. So, you know, so I'll be probably coaching his girl team soon, him and Kazim. I know you know those two, Kazim
Yes, ma'am.
and Elijah, all, you know, they kind of roll together as far as coaching and I say, well, I only teach defense. I teach mostly defense, and I want them to know the lines because, you know, when they're young, sometimes they step in and the refs don't say anything and they're not teaching them properly. So I'm really for like a stickler of, you know, the basics. So I told him I would help him with those, and you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we could definitely.
Okay, great. Yes, ma'am. Now, Sis Jacquelyn, what would you like your legacy to be, ma'am?
I would like my legacy to be that I am very I guess helpful. I think I like to just help. I help a lot of sisters and families at the mosque, and I just want them to know that they can come to me, and my legacy be that she gave everything she could for the nation and to help out families and, you know, hands-on people that I knew, not, you know, not famous people, not people that don't know me, the sisters that sit right next to me in the mosque, you know, if they need me, they know I will be there for them. So my legacy would be just really helping, you know, giving of myself that I when I can, you know, and I think that's really my legacy.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Beautiful. Well, I'm honored to meet you, Sis Jacquelyn. I look forward to meeting you in person. Please get a greetings to your family. On behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you for your sacrifice, the sacrifice of your family. And I look forward to meeting you and playing basketball with you. Thank everybody who's watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Alaikum salam, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.